What's up, everyone? I'm Ray, and this is Flowin in the Truth, episode 4. Today, we are going to talk about mental health. We're going to talk about my journey in mental health. I'm going to talk about my episode I did with Mithu back in 2018, my bipolar disorder diagnosis, and where I'm at now, and how I am navigating life after all of that. And let's get into it. For somebody who's watching, who may have had a similar experience and is going through depression, going through anxiety, going through a life change that is out of their control, remember, control is an illusion. We don't have full control on anything. Everything could be taken away in a second, in a day, in a minute, and change is inevitable. So nothing lasts forever. But be excited about that and look at the optimistic side of it and breathe. Try that. As a whole episode, I really wanted to talk about the uplifting things, my ritual, and how I get into that mindset to conquer success and to put myself in that headspace that I need to put myself into to get the things that I need to get done and to be happy. This is how I create my own happiness, how I become my own hero in my stories. Before starting and before getting into my story, talking about the pointers and tips that I do, I just wanted to give a little disclaimer and say that I'm not a doctor. I'm going off of my experience, and everything that I'm speaking on today has either worked for me or has been something that I went through. I have opened up about my mental health, my diagnosis, bipolar disorder diagnosis back in 2017. And I wanted to give that full recap and also give an update on me, how I'm doing, how I'm functioning, how I'm living, and everything that came with that diagnosis to the time I opened up about it on social media to now. Back in 2017, I was in therapy. I was seeing some doctors. I was going through some some just like episodes of depression and things like that. I believe that we feel emotions for a reason, and it's because our body or our life or our soul is telling us something that we either need to change or we need to do something. I see it that way. I see when I do start to feel depressed, I know that depression is when you dwell on the past. You can't change the past. You can't change what happened yesterday, and there's no way of going back. So you have to really take it for what it is and acknowledge it, and move forward and use that as a lesson, use that as something to benefit you in the future. I started going to therapy when I was 13 years old. It was beneficial because I learned the concept of therapy. So that left me with some foundation. At that age, I didn't really understand how to express myself. So it was something that was a journey. But it was that thing that planted the seed for me, Although I was prescribed Prozac, Xanax, antidepressants as a teenager, it didn't seem like the fix for me. And I'm not saying that medication is bad. I'm not saying that, everybody who takes medication shouldn't. Not at all. I truly believe that medicine is important for certain people. Like, if I don't feel that it's working for me, I'm not going to take it. I'm going to take some other routes. And that's what I did. And I'll get into that. But anxiety for me was something that I really, really battled with a lot. Sometimes I couldn't breathe. Sometimes I would get nervous and shaky and sweaty. And this goes back to me being a child. When I was a baby, my mom reminds me of this all the time. When I was a baby, I used to hold my breath until I passed out. I noticed that when I get anxiety, I'm not breathing. I'm not taking a deep breath. I'm not giving myself oxygen that I need. So I get really tensed up, and I get nervous, and then I feel like I can't breathe, and then I start to overthink it, and then my mind just wraps around and around and around until I, take control of it. I can't help but to get shortness of breath in moments that I feel overwhelmed. That's just how my body responds. but I can control how I react to it and how I talk to myself. And what I do when I get in those moments, I take a deep breath and I remind myself, I'm not going to die. I'm not going to pass out. And I take it for what it is now, that it's going to end. And this is something that is coming from a feeling inside that's just pushing out. Let's fast forward to Mithu. Mithu is the episode that I shot in 2018. It was a mental health episode, a short series that had a big platform. That was something that I really just went in and did. We didn't have anything scripted. The only thing that was asked of me when they reached out was if we can talk about mental health. And they didn't really say, come prepared for this or that. At that time, I had just been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. I think I was on 2 days of no sleep. I just felt like there's something I need help. I need to seek some professional help at this point. So I drove to the clinic at like 10 a.m. Mental health clinic, urgent care. I checked myself in. I told them what was going on. I spoke with a counselor, a psychiatrist. I was prescribed medication. Originally, I was diagnosed with bipolar type 2, and then the diagnosis changed to type 1. So just a little bit of what I know from bipolar disorder. Type 2 is the moderate version. It's the less severe version than type 1. Bipolar, if you're not familiar with, it is a mood disorder. Some people have a misconception of bipolar disorder and say that, oh, you're not crazy, you're not doing this and that. But it doesn't really come down to the personality. Some people have a very quiet, very reserved, very introverted personality, and you may not even know that they have that disorder. Yeah, I was told by 3 doctors. 2 of the doctors had diagnosed me with bipolar type 2, and then the last one at this mental health clinic I was diagnosed with type 1. And that was very alarming to me because I never thought I would ever have a diagnosis with bipolar disorder. I do know that I have extreme ups and downs, but to me, I didn't feel like it was something that was stopping me from living. If anything, I felt like it was an advantage to have such highs and to be so sensitive to a lot of things, to feel. And the idea that medication could like stabilize that and not allow me to have those highs really, really made me question medication again. And I was not I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how it was going to affect my life. They gave me some medication, and I was willing to try it this time. It made me really sick. I felt like I had the flu without a fever. Like I was very weak, very sluggish. My head hurt. I couldn't do it. I felt like this is making me worse. This is making me more unhappy, more doubtful. I just didn't have that hope, I had friends at the time who I was telling this to, and they were there to be supportive and to tell me to finish what I'm starting. Basically, if I'm on this journey and I want to get off, I need to do it the right way and not just go cold turkey and stop taking the pills, which I did. And I just never looked back after that. I felt like, what, if I'm having these issues, no one or nothing is going to eliminate it. I have to really dig in and fix it myself. Meaning, what, if I'm feeling down, if I'm feeling depressed, like that means that I have to change something in my routine. I need to get better sleep. So I need to discipline myself to go to bed early. And if I want to be more independent, I have to go off and look for something that can give me that income to be that independent person that I wanted to be. And the more I started to be disciplined, the more I started to see things change around me. I started to get more involved in my health, fitness. I started to look at life in a different perspective and say that I'm not a victim. I'm not a victim in anything that I do. I'm a hero in my own story. And I feel like we can all be our own hero in the story, our own story. And that really took a long time to grasp because I felt like I was living in this victim mentality for a long time because, oh, poor me, this diagnosis, like you don't understand, like I'm different. And I look back now and I'm like, wow, like that was such a very like cringe, toxic mentality that I had that I felt would like, oh, I'm like, oh, this is the reason why, basically. But like, no, the reason why is because I wasn't doing what I needed to do and I was feeling bad about it. I was not disciplined at all. And the fact that I went to that extreme is very scary in a way, because if I was so easily prescribed this medication, diagnosed with this disorder, that's not, I'm sure it's not just me, but that's not to say that I don't believe that. I do believe there are people out there that need medication. I believe it can better someone's life if they feel it, that's the right journey for them. For me, it wasn't, and it took me a lot to get to that point, and I'm very proud to overcome that obstacle of getting out of my depression and changing my mentality. I just feel like God put me on the path that I needed to be on to get through what I need to get through, because I'm a strong person. I'm a strong guy, mentally, physically. I went through a lot. I've overcame a lot of stuff. I did have people reach out from all over the country when that episode came out in 2018, and it was very positive. It was very uplifting to hear people say that they're able to speak on their mental health because they saw my video, and it was very like touching. Oh my God, it's making me emotional. Because I wanted to be that for somebody. I want to help people express themselves, because we should be able to. We shouldn't feel like we can't. Like, we shouldn't be silenced in anything that we do. I think somebody who, I mean, especially like a Latino Mexican man, we grew up in a culture where it's very tough and it's very this way and that way, and you can't be this and you can't be that. So I think it's important to just throw it out there and be like, you know what? Hey, I'm not always tough. I'm sensitive too. I have life experience in a realm of things. I'm well rounded in different emotions and experiences and things. So yeah, after that episode aired, it was that experience for me, and I just felt like, yeah, I was living in that mentality for a bit, and how I got out of it, I really pushed forward with my life. I did the things that I wanted to do, and it took work to get to where I wanted to get to be independent, to have my own place, to do everything that I wanted to do. Basically, like, it takes work. I feel, and I truly believe this. I read this somewhere. What you're doing today will dictate how you are a year from now. And that's very powerful, because a lot of the times we want that instant gratification. We want that reassurance, but sometimes you don't get it. And that's all right. Just keep pushing forward. A story too that I have with my physical well-being, which ties into the mental health. I want to talk on this for a bit, because this is something that has definitely changed my life too. I've always been into working out. I've always been into like sports, like physical activity. I didn't understand a lot with diet and things like that. I think ultimately, as I've gotten older, my perception of physical health has definitely changed as far as like goals and stuff. And what I really got into that has really changed my perspective, and it's really helped my anxiety, it's really helped my whole mindset, is yoga. Yoga is something that I definitely can say has transformed my mind, my brain. Like, it totally has. And it is as powerful as people say it is. It's very like, damn, like, you got to try it. And let me tell you, I was very stiff. I was very, very stiff. Like, if you knew me and saw me, like, I have like I'm kind of strong. Like, I have some muscle and stuff, but I cannot move. It's like, what were those muscles for? Like, I could not touch my toes. Like, I was stiff. Like, dancing was just awkward. But I can say 1 year of yoga transformed everything about me, my mentality, my physical being. Like, I'm super flexible now. I can like do so much with my body that allows me to express myself in different ways that I wasn't able to do before. I've also have more of a confidence that I'm not going to injure myself when I do heavy weightlifting, like deadlifting. But I will say yoga really, really helped with my breathing, with my anxiety. That is part of my morning ritual. So how I get into that headspace to conquer the day, to be successful, to know that, you know what, every day is a new day, and we don't have anything promised to us. We don't know what's going to happen. I think we kind of experienced that with COVID a little bit. Like one day we woke up and everything shut down. I think what we can take away from those experiences is knowing that every day is not promised. Like you have the opportunity to create your own day and make it how you want to. It doesn't have to be a bad day, regardless of whatever you're going through. It's your perspective and how you look at life. If you wake up and you're in that mood that's like, oh, I have to go to work, I have to do this, like you're already setting yourself up there, man. Like, come on, you're setting yourself up for failure, because why would you put yourself in that mentality when you can be like, oh wow, like I woke up, I'm mobile, like I'm in my bed, I have a roof over my head, thank God, thank who you pray to, get up and move, do some movement, hydrate your body. That's feels good to me. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of insight on my morning ritual and like how I get ready, how I start my day, and that is getting up in the morning and feeling thankful, feeling like, whoa, like I'm in my bed, I'm in my bedroom, and like this is mine, like this is my roof over my head, this is what I'm providing for myself. And I'm like, damn, I remember like waking up under someone else's roof, but I'm like under my own roof. I think about that every morning when I look up, and I'm just like, look out the window and see like, like this is, here I am. Like I look how far I've come. So, and life is short. Fall in love with everything and anything in the day, in the moment. It's constantly changing, evolving. Enjoy every moment, enjoy every person that you meet, everything that you encounter. Take it for what it is. Understand that it's not going to last forever. Nothing does. And enjoy it in the moment and look back on it later on. In that moment, don't overthink it. Don't take it for something that it's not. Just, live your life and understand that it's short, and you're not going to look like how you look forever. You're not going to feel how you feel forever. You're not going to be in your situation forever. Like, we're only on this planet for a temporary amount of time, and take it for what it is. The most valuable thing in life is time. You can't get it back. So make it beautiful. Like, make it your own positive energy, and use that source to fuel you through the day. That's my journey. This is my mental health journey. This is how I think. 1 month can do a lot. A day can change your whole life. And just don't forget that. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will continue on. And I just want to say thank you for all the support. Thank you for everybody reaching out, listening. It means a lot. And I just want to just say how thankful I am for the people in my life, for everybody that I've crossed paths with that has showed me something valuable, whether I saw it in that moment or not. And I just want to say how blessed and thankful I feel to live my life with my perspective that I have. And I just want to share that so other people can feel the same way, or if not, even better. And that's it. That's all. I'm done.